We should keep moving, Commander. I'll see what I can do.
Due to an anomalous event, the interstitial hall in Exhibition Tower is off limits for the foreseeable future to any and all non-essential personnel. All requests to view the prototype Rift Anomaly Modulator are hereby suspended for the time being. Please direct all further queries and study petitions to the lead researcher's office.
Once we've got our hands on the modulator, rifts like that might start presenting opportunities instead of death traps.
Hello. doing?
Subjects, listen well. Days ago, our beloved sovereign, in his infinite wisdom, submitted himself to mental refreshment to strengthen his resolve for the good of all. At his command, I, Emery Thoreau, now accept the responsibility of shepherding you through these dark times until our sovereign's blessed return. I shall not take this duty lightly, for I address you today not as the consul, nor even as your new leader, which I am, but as a simple man who wants nothing more than to defend his home and his neighbors. But I cannot do it alone.
I reckon that's Protectorate for I assassinated the Sovereign and seized control. If true, this console will be a nasty one to go up against.
The Sovereign's a downright dove compared to the Council. This is gonna be bad for everyone.
I call upon you to stand tall with renewed zeal. Together, we will finish our great sovereign's work and purge Arcadia of those who seek to harm us. We shall clench our victory and step into the prosperous future our matriarch promised.
What is it? All right, but we best do this quick. Now's not really the time for a chat. You need something? All right, but we best do this quick.
closer inspection.
It's a brawl!
Taking cover! Ammunition
Each a vital cog.
You think too much!
Trust the plan.
His steady eye above.
Maintaining perfection.
Restoring the balance.
All subjects transfer under the guidance of
What is it? I'll see what I can do.
There it is. The rift modulator. Surely it can't be that easy, just taking it.
Back to it.
Hmm.
To the unsubtle thief. Yes, you. It's not every day that someone is fool enough to break into the Interstitial Reconfiguration Center. I'd be obliged if you would regale me with the tale of how you managed to get this far. Sprat caught your tongue? So be it. We can forgo civilities. I will await you in the hangar. There, bullets may fly more freely than words.
I see an unfriendly...
Improving position.
especially perturbed. You know what Prudence always says. Frolic, prance, and shimmy to your heart's reasonable abandon?
No, that's only for celebrating the downfall of our enemies. Distemperament can hide in plain sight.
Coming up on some foes.
Look alive, Commander.
Troublemaker approaching. Check the enemy light just turned
Like the
on.
one with the Sovereign?
No. It seems we may have been intruded upon during the consul's announcement.
Let me know when you need a distraction. Trouble. Got my lamp up first.
A good neighbor! Loading a nuke. Sustain the system. Perfection is perfect.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give us this.
The Protectorate!
These quarters are awful meticulous. Makes me wonder what Valancourt might be hiding hereabouts. Now's not really the time for a chat. You need something? I'll see what I can do.
Medkit coming your way!
Don't mind me.
Replenish the... I'll make it again.
Hook me up! I'd do it for you! Back in business.
Giving chase.
Now that you have the Rift modulator, any previously inaccessible rifts could be worth revisiting. Rifts may contain useful equipment and resources. However, due to the chaotic nature of reconstitution, some creative problem solving may be required in reaching them.
Hope you're settling into the cognito all right. You got everything you need?
Almost. Ever thought about bringing an Auntie's Choice vending machine on board? I ain't all that agreeable if I'm without my snacks.
I've got to introduce you to this novel appliance, name of a refrigerator. You can store and draw from it without ever paying a bit.
Everyone knows a morsel tastes that much sweeter if you gotta pay a premium for it.
As I told you before, we need to wait for Niles.
Your arrival could not be more timely. After the events of Paradise Island, I could think of no one more suited to conduct a surgical strike of this nature. I'm, glad to see you again as well, Niles.
Gotta say you had me worried. The message you sent sounded serious.
Then I composed it accurately. To the task at hand. We are standing before the tomb of the Matriarch. Few are invited to tour its halls, and even fewer know of its greatest secret. For any subject, visiting the Matriarch and First Sovereign's resting place is the pinnacle of anti-social achievement. But the tomb's corpses are its least important feature. The intelligence my friends risked all to acquire revealed a vault in its lowest level containing the Matriarch's body of work, hidden from the public. Who knows what technologies the Protectorate is withholding? If the matriarch was the genius she's purported to be, the skip drive cannot be the entirety of her inventions. We'll certainly face more resistance inside, but rest assured, I'm prepared for the majority of the complications we might encounter. Whatever technological advancements may be sequestered here, the goal is almost certainly to keep the populace of Arcadia subservient to the pernicious whims of its governing body. But not for much longer. We are going to liberate any and all of the Matriarch's research, whatever it may be, and distribute it to the people. The time for considering risk is past. We cannot afford to be timid when battling giants. Besides, now I have 2 Earth Directorate agents to assist me. What could go wrong?
I can see a half dozen points of failure, but bad odds ain't ever stopped us before.
Glad we're operating under the same understanding. We're unlikely to have another chance like this. We must follow through now that we've made the opening. Which also means, once inside, we cannot leave until it's done. They'll be taking up strategic positions to guard the entrance, and watching for any stray Protectorate patrols. We'll move more swiftly in fewer numbers. Slim chance of that. I'll not assign a task to others that I'm unwilling to undertake myself.
Color me surprised.
After you. Stay close and keep silent. The less attention we draw, the better. By the Matriarch, there weren't supposed to be visitors today. That Sentinel and Docent are gonna put splinters in our plan if they're not dealt with.
You hang back here. The commander and I'll take care of this.
Gladly. I'll rejoin you once the path is clear.
got company,
Never
Commander.
again.
The unfriendly
Will
kind.
we see her equal?
It has been 10 minutes. Perhaps you would like to view the...
It's a brawl!
Don't mind me.
That's been taken care of. We can continue. Wait there. I'll come to you.
All handled. My turn. There should be a hidden entrance here.
Back in business.
The security room that we need to reach is nearby. We should be able to disable that energy barrier from there.
Who goes? No one is allowed in here without the proper authorization. Ah, I see you have come armed. Intruders, then. I suppose you intend to extract my surrender through means most lurid and foul.
Damn, the head curator. I had hoped to slip in before his shift, but no matter. We cannot allow him to leave and raise the alarm. He must be dispatched, quickly.
How's that now?
Now hold on. I know we had to kill that fella with the Sentinel, but this man's unarmed. He's already surrendered. How much of a fuss could this one fella cause, really? Come on, Zeb. No need to cut any bellies over maybes and ifs.
Please, if secrecy's your concern, you may rely upon me to be the utmost spirit of discretion. I have never betrayed a confidence in my life.
Allowing him to leave would be a grave error of mercy, one we can ill afford in this place.
If we start gunning down civilians, where does it end, Zeb? Ain't Arcadia covered in enough blood?
You need me to clear that moral obstruction for you? Fine. This man is an instrument of empire, perpetuating the tyrant's lies. And were our positions reversed, he would not hesitate to execute us, or worse, send us to mental refreshment.
I'm kin to the risks, Zeb.
Are you? Can you even fathom the indignity of having your every thought scrutinized and scored and made perfect? My sister was made into a shadow. I endured daily sessions with the lathe of particularity and still find myself policing my own mind for untoward proclivities and inclinations.
The commander's right. This man didn't put you in the lathe, Zeb. He's just trapped in the system, same as everyone else.
I never have possessed immunity against your pleading. Fine, you're free to leave. Do not repay this kindness with treachery.
You are merciful and wise. I will depart at once.
Let's hope the consequences of this decision do not assert themselves while we're still here. You and Niall should turn off the power to the security barrier and make your way to the vault. I'll remain here and guide you as best I can through the labyrinth. No turning back now.
No going back from here. Not until we've done what we came into. Commander. Reckon I found something that might be useful later. Have a look, Commander. With a little elbow grease and some inadvisable engineering, reckon I can finagle these components into a fine explosive gel. Who knows? Could come in handy. Just doing my part. But thanks for the vote of confidence, Commander. Let's keep on. I'll continue tinkering on this in the meantime, see what I can come up with.
You've made it through. Good. Now there should be 3 switches in this room. When pulled in the correct order, the door should open. If I'm reading this right, the order is 1, 3, 2. But which switch corresponds to which number? Ah, damn it. Why must the Protectorate abstract everything?
There's a way to suss out which switch is which. Maybe if we could peek the wiring.
By my grandmother, I cannot abide the time this research into the rifts is taking. It has been years, and yet I am still absent my wife and daughter. I am still half whole. The researchers swear it's possible to bring them back from the void. Perhaps those are only pretty lies intended to pacify me, but I trust Dr. Hurley to tell me the truth. I know the Consul wishes me to give up this obsession and focus on...
Troublemaker approaching!
Looks like a fight.
Am I not sovereign? Not take
Looking a little woozy there, Commander. Little pick-me-up for you.
The code I originally supplied can still be relied upon. 1, 3, 2. We're not overly impeded by this puzzle, but I apologize for my lack of preparedness.
Zeb seem a little off to you, Commander? I think he's starting to worry me. That business with the curator. I'm glad Zeb stood down, but it was close. Never seen him so eager for bloodletting before. He's changed. Ain't sure for the better. I know you're right. Suppose part of me still feels responsible for what he's gone through. If only I stuck it out, maybe then, well, no use stewing. We've still got a vault to break into and tyrannical government to topple.
That vault door is quite the obstruction. Fortunately, there should be a code. No. Fuck! They changed it recently. That shouldn't have happened until next week. I'm certain I can diagnose the issue. Now that you've cleared the way, I'll come down and join you.
I might have something else that can get you into that vault, Commander. Remember those components I found? I was able to turn them into something halfway useful after all. This gel should get us through that vault door. Turns out you were right about trusting my instincts. You take the honors, Commander. I'll be right behind you.
No. I was hoping for a more subtle incursion, but no matter.
Am I running hot, or was that a hint of worry I heard in your voice back there?
Alas, I neglected to pack a thermometer. This terminal should allow me to retrieve all the information stored here. This cannot be right. There's nothing here save the designs for the skip drive. Not even initial concepts. 10 years in Arcadia and the matriarch invented nothing? And what's this about a deal with the Earth Directorate? We need to talk. Now.
Times of darkness. We must hold our principles dear. I fear the longer this war continues, the further we stray from them. Every step we take must honor the matriarch. I tell Henry this, but he is set in his ways. His notions regarding these rifts are sorely misguided. Why close them when we can use them to Arcadia's benefit? It matters not what the Order thinks, what the Doubters say. The Architect bestowed us with the power of skip drives so that we may secure a perfect future. We must act with haste. I only ever wished for Henry to embrace his role as the caretaker of Arcadia, the savior of us all. But if he has chosen a different path, I will do as I must. And I must not fail.
I knew the Protectorate festered with lies, but I had no idea the Earth Directorate was complicit. Niles, did you know?
Slow up, Zeb. What are you talking about?
It says your agency struck an agreement with the Matriarch over a century ago. In exchange for skip drives, Arcadia was allowed to completely govern itself with absolutely no outside interference, including from the Earth Directorate.
Must be why the chief said we'd be on our own if we were caught. We were breaking the terms of this agreement. Unbelievable.
If this information is true, then the Earth Directorate permitted the Matriarch to create a colony filled with her vassals, enslaved to her will. Everything Arcadia is, all of the suffering that's taken place here, it all could have been avoided. Things could have been different. There's more. The skip drive schematics are here. How the explosive safeguards against tampering work. Its evolution over time. But no original concepts, no sketches. Nothing. Our dear matriarch is a fraud. A cheat. She did not invent the skip drive. There are messages here between her and the First Sovereign that all but confirm it. I thought I might find some technological innovation that could be handed to the Protectorate's enemies. But this This is almost better.
Just what exactly are you thinking, Zeb?
By releasing this information, we can thoroughly crush the image the Protectorate has been built upon. No longer will the Protectorate's myth of superiority be used as a cudgel against its own populace. If we administer truth to the people, their strength will return. Erstwhile, giving the skip drive designs to the Protectorate's enemies will even the fight. Their technological prowess will be made into nothing. Everything will come apart.
Downsides like how the skip drives are causing rifts? Yeah, I say that's worth a fret. Not to mention how this agreement with the Protectorate will completely destroy the Earth Directorate's reputation.
I was not aware of such a connection between rifts and the skip drives. But I have confidence the Order will figure out a solution. Science is their theater, after all. As for the Earth Directorate, don't you see? This frees them from any obligation to the Protectorate. They'll be able to manufacture skip drives themselves. The deal will be voided.
It's worth holding the Earth Directorate's feet to the fire for this deal, but I don't think the entire organization should be judged by its worst decision. It's done a lot of good, too. Plus, making the skip drive tech available, that's like throwing a lit match into a fuel converter. Can't think of a worse idea right now.
Do you think the Protectorate stand around debating the potential for injury? No. They act, and so must we. Damn the consequences.
Hold on, Commander. Exposing the Earth Directorate in this way will cause people to lose faith and embolden the corporations to do as they please. Who does that help? Not to mention what might happen if that skip drive tech falls into the wrong hands. I've seen you bend over backwards to help this colony. If you truly believe this is the right course of action, I'll back you. But you had best be sure.
And should I refuse to leave empty-handed? What then?
Whoa. Put the brakes on, Commander. I'm sure Zeb can be reasoned with. I know you're aiming to do the most good for the most amount of people, Zeb, but sowing chaos ain't the way.
Do you know how many of my friends died so we could reach this point? Audra sacrificed herself. And you would have me what? Give up now on the cusp of victory? Lay bare my throat for the Protectorate machine to cut? I am listening. Though I suppose I could stand to be a little more receptive. Out of respect for my friend, I will forestall the release of this information and seek another avenue to help liberate the people of Arcadia. I'll remain here for a while longer to cover our tracks. The Protectorate will discover the break-in, but hopefully never learn more specifics of what we did and found.
Guess this is goodbye.
Only for now. If we both come out of this war intact, I'll find you. If you wish to be found, of course.
I want to talk it over with the Commander, but yeah, maybe we can work something out. We should keep moving, Commander.
are. These are the ruffians who threaten me.
Parasites,
See
I
that they
cover-
put their friends in the rubble. None of these
Finishing my
defilers
firearm.
to live.
Commander. Anyone else here, medic?
Sustain
Guns
seeking
cocked and
shelter.
loaded. Just give the signal.
Mind where you stand. Beneficent guidance. Carefully. Chris Gray moving.
Now you don't.
Time to earn my commission. Rough customers about.
Hastening to. His gaze peaceful. Target reassigned.
Appreciate a little help, Commander.
Minimizing exposure.
Back in business.
Damn it. Zeb was right. Never should have let that curator go. We could have prevented this. Don't even know where to start with everything that happened in there. At least we were able to talk Zeb out of his plan and release everything we uncovered. I'm all for sowing chaos in the Protectorate, but that kind of information is liable to do more harm than good in the wrong hands. I expect backroom dealing from unregulated corporations, not from the only agency keeping them in check. The Earth Directorate should be better than that. Permission to speak candid, Commander. Yeah, suppose we've moved well past formalities. Strange as it sounds, this whole experience with Zeb has helped me finally understand the position Augustine was in. Back at Horizon Point, ain't easy having to decide between your allies and protecting untold innocence. I'm not saying what she did was forgivable, but I find myself wondering what would have happened if she'd lived. Isn't that the damnedest thing? Same could be said for Zeb. Law, even for us. And intentions do matter. If I accidentally trip you, that's a lot different than aiming my foot at your shins, ain't it? Reckon time will decide the heroes from villains in this tale, but it's gonna be hard to forgive the Earth Directorate for arranging the stage like this in the first place. Defect from the Earth Directorate? Oh, this brain pan of mine can bundle a whole pack of worries at once, don't you doubt it. But I hear you. Might be we're better off on our own. Answering to no one. Achieving the ends. And damn the means. We're already steeped in blood, like it or not. Can't believe I wasted so many years. Guns down, waiting on rescue from the Earth Directorate. Never again. Thanks for helping me finally shed the rose-tinted goggles, Commander. Only regret it took so long.
It's... Oh, nah. That's crazy.
On your command. And I'll take care of him, Commander. Got my lamps on an unfriendly. See.
What you have to run the parts are pride. Prescription filled. Get me go-getting again. Back in business.
I'll admit, the coup caught me on the back foot. Always figured the consul for a power snatcher, but I'd never put bits down on him betraying the Sovereign. They seem so tight-knit. Just think about all those posters of the pair of them that'll have to change now. A real crying shame. Sure does save on ammunition. The Sovereign's misfortune is our gain, far as I'm concerned. The console might be projecting strength, but by my reckon, Protectorate's more unstable now than ever before. Sure, always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind? When I first got assigned to your team, I was beside myself with excitement. Since then, you've really proven yourself every bit of the legend I hoped you would be. I've come to respect you, Commander. Not just as a leader, but as a, well, as a friend, too. I'm glad to hear it. Would have had some real grease on my face if you didn't. It was just me and Val for so long. I kind of forgot what it was like having someone else I could rely on. It's been real nice having you at my side. Not to get too maudlin, but I'm used to losing the people who mean the most to me. I just want you to know I'm not going to let that happen this time. Might have been a questionable decade in there, but yeah, more or less. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. This can be a thankless job sometimes. Didn't want you going a day longer without knowing how much you mean to me. And to Val, too. Sure, always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind?
Commander. Reps tingling, all charged up.
Happy to assist in crafting more ammo if you need it. engineering to keep
Oh there. Approach the gate and identify yourself if you're looking for access. Well, of all the improbable sights I'd never imagined to actually see, folks simply wandering around the Badlands of Praetor would be near the top of that list. I've not the mind to solve the equation that demonstrates how unlikely it is you've survived enemy combatants, hostile critters, and endless lightning in near equal measure. Is that so? Amusingly enough, I'm inclined to believe you, which means you might be just the help Exemplar Simon's been waiting for. The grounding station was built to help manage and offset the lightning that illuminates the sky and scorches the ground without pause or penance. They also used the station for a number of experiments that they ultimately lacked the capacity to complete. But, suffice it to say, we far exceeded those limitations. Nevertheless, the Exemplar is in need of help to complete his research, and our small squad lacks the manpower to provide it. But you might be the universal variable we've been waiting for. He is in the lab atop the hydraulicalized lift. Ironically, the lift was struck by lightning while the station was being reset and is stuck in its raised position. There is a trail that leads to the top. Just mind the jump onto the platform, and don't touch anything glowing, sparking, or obviously shedding lightning on your way there. And given the situation we find ourselves in, I'll be leaving the gate charged unless you're ready to pass through it. Just approach, and I'll power it down for you.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
You're about to enter territory controlled by Auntie's choice. Act accordingly, or you'll end up as close friends with the inside of a Raptidon.
You there. You came from outside the camp, didn't you? Do you have a minute to take a job? For science, of course. Interested in work, or was the allure of helping to advance science and being paid for it too much to resist? I'll get right to it then. I need someone to bring me a Gorvid egg. Incredible! And to think I sent all those assistants to die for nothing. I should have just sent a heavily armed stranger first. Here's your reward. You've certainly earned it. Now, back to my lab. I'm going to get so many papers published. Every biological researcher will know my name. There's going to be statues of me.
Wrangling raptidons may seem a mite dangerous, but it's a far safer endeavor than being one of Tedford's research assistants.
Thanks again for bringing me that egg. It really is quite fascinating. Can't wait to get this guy into my lab's incubator. I'm gonna be famous. Oh, have any more questions about critters? I can talk about my precious monsters all day. Which of my assorted critters would you like to know about?
Something like this just before Auntie's Choice took over Tau Ceti. Didn't end well for the bosses, I'll tell you that.
Making her if you won't let us sleep for 8, you can't charge us for stimulates! We don't want to make demands, but no more
not doing
in
business.
bottles and cans!
Workers are too rowdy. Door stays shut for now.
With no rest and no downtime, we shouldn't pay for a Adrena time!
Auntie's Choice. It's quite simple, really.
Auntie's Choice is a lawful entity formed under the legally binding Global Corporate Treaty of Versailles. Capable of entering into contracts, owning assets, and existing indefinitely for the express purpose of executing its fiduciary duties to its board of directors and to Auntie herself.
See? It's quite simple.
Bottles on factory floors! Time for unlocked bathroom doors! Others get the exact same pay, but only work 12-hour days!
Whatever it is you're after, go looking for it somewhere else.
Ever read the Middle Manager Handbook? Really shores up the foundation of your fundamentals.
Yes? The whole reason we set up here is to avoid customers. Is there something you need? See that repackaging facility down there? We're supposed to be working it, slaving away for a few meager bits that we then gotta use to pay for our own necessities. They work us like cysty pigs, charge us for the stims we need to yoke those hours, and don't let us relieve ourselves but in empty fizzy tea bottles we keep beneath our stations. So, we're making trouble until that changes. Until we get some respect. Until the privy is left open all day. Can't imagine what. Ain't like you could fix all of Auntie's Choice's hierarchy by your own self. I don't think you could even change this one dumpish overseer ruining our lives. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Damn.
If you won't let us sleep or eat, you can't charge us for stimulating!
Frustrations don't normally involve, you know, an actual vent.
Working hard or hardly working? That's rhetorical. Yes? The whole reason we set up here is to avoid customers. Is there something you need? See that repackaging facility down there? We're supposed to be working it, slaving away for a few meager bits that we then gotta use to pay for our own necessities. They work us like cysty pigs, charge us for the stims we need to yoke those hours, and don't let us relieve ourselves but in empty fizzy tea bottles we keep beneath our stations. So, we're making trouble until that changes. Until we get some respect. Until the privy is left open all day. Indeed. Gotta say, I'm glad to hear you are, at least in spirit, aligned with our plight. Now, if you'll excuse me. Yes? The whole reason we set up here is to avoid customers. Is there something you need? Well, then, best of luck. Now, if you'll excuse me. walking.
Hello, and goodbye.
Avoid the strike. They should be after blood.
Welcome to Auntie's Fine Product Revitalization Center, where we create tomorrow's brands today. I assume you are the disruption ameliorator from home office? It was about damn time you got here. This labor stoppage has put us almost a full week behind schedule and is making me look quite the fool. Some ne'er-do-wells, have incited our workers to halt all work. They've taken to making demands and carrying on about basic dignity and human rights.
It should go without saying that such flights of fantasy have no place inside Auntie's Choice, and if we were still in Tau Ceti, they would face grave consequences.
I reckon she's got her wires crossed. Basic dignity is what Auntie's Choice promised us when we signed up, so long as we were good at our work. And while we might have faced grave consequences back on Tau Ceti, it was under old management, who were trounced rather thoroughly in the end, I might add.
Nevertheless, here we must focus on getting these ingrates back to work, and remind them that they're damn lucky to have Auntie's Choice to dedicate their lives to. Absolutely. These lugs have been positively exalted in the good fortune of rising to their limited station within the meritocracy that Auntie has derived for us. Why? Can you imagine suffering under the yoke of a sovereign's rule, or floundering at the ridiculous direction of those claiming to know the future by way of math? No. Only within Auntie's Choice can these drudges achieve genuine prominence. If they exhibit excessive dedication, they may even earn some modicum of the success I have enjoyed. You're asking me? That clearly is your domain. Running this invaluable facility on Angie's behalf is mine. As a managerial administrativist, and when I say I, it is critical that you understand that as director of this facility, I should effectively be treated as though I were an executive. Is that clear? Well, there's no call for rudeness. It's unnecessary, unprofessional, and distracts us from the important business that I have the direct authority to dispatch you upon. This plant relabels dated items with new Auntie's Choice trademarks and slogans. It is critical to keeping revitalized products on the shelf for consumers hungry for something new. So, the workers may be unhappy, but they must realize their comfort is a distant second to Auntie's delivery schedule. Or in short, they need to get back to work. My workers are striking people now? How very alarming. We must resolve this before things get even further out of hand. They've appointed some kind of leader, and he's the one you have to talk to. His name is, Dummy? No, that's not right. Dunce? Dummer. Dumley? Dunbar. It's Dunbar. I believe he has demands, but I can't be bothered to remember what they were. They alter the generous terms Auntie offers, and so are egregious and should be rejected. You will find him up on the landing pad with some of his minions. Go help him understand the situation so everyone can get back to work. That clear? Yes, well, I'm sure you'll manage. Auntie has faith in you, therefore I shall too. Best of luck to you. Remember that your actions don't just reflect on you, you are also representing me, which is to say, you are also representing Auntie. Do us proud.
With no rest and no downtime, we shouldn't pay for a drink time!
I can see the overseer up in her office. We're definitely making her miserable.
Others get the exact same pay, but only work 12-hour days!
I ain't aiming to seem rude, but I got a lot to deal with right now. Unless this is mighty important, I'll respectfully ask to be left to my business. Settle my complaints? How exactly you planning that? Auntie's got to prioritize worker prosperity over productivity. What we've got now is poor labor retention techniques. What's going on is, remind me again?
An inhospitable occupational environment that ignores worker safety and health concerns.
Right, that.
They work 20-hour shifts, which require stims to endure that are charged at a premium. Adrena time is actually cheaper on the undisputed claim than it is here. And if that inhuman brutality isn't enough to offend basic decency, they're also barred from using the restroom throughout the business day. Their 20-hour business day. It is an unconscionable condition to keep these workers in. I can't imagine how hard it is for them to coordinate their daily duties. No, I'm just a fellow underling suffering the corporate grind who saw the plight of these poor folk and needed to help them make a fair and reasonable deal.
That's right. Leo has been an absolute wealth of what's what. Without him, we would still be toiling
under the yoke of oppressive undervaluation due to monstrous mismanagement.
Right, that.
Me? Why, my only motivation is...
Now hold it right there. We aren't here to talk about Leo. We're here to talk about what it's going to take to make us get back to work, right? Our shifts need to be reduced to 12 hours a day. 4 hours of personal time ain't even enough to rest, much less get any actual living done. Second, if we gotta work those long hours, we want free Adrena time. Bad enough it's making everything taste like we're non-Nicopads. Having to pay for the pleasure's too far. Finally, we want all-day bathroom access. Expecting us to fit our necessities into the same 4 hours is just mean. Plus, between us, most folk ain't, if you get my meaning. Yeah, well, of course you're gonna find it all ridiculous. You only care about what's best for Auntie. But there are demands all the same. Take them to Griggs.
Welcome back, Ameliorator. Did you make contact with workers? Do they understand that this stoppage is madness? Are they ready to return? So, what are these ingrate alley sprats willing to settle for? Golden privies and gilded sheets to be spoon-fed crunch whenever their tummies rumble? 8-hour workdays? hour? Are they mad? What are they gonna do with the other half of the day? Lounge around the facility, consuming air and water and power without compensating the company? I am, frankly, disappointed you would even bring me such a preposterous demand. You should have nipped this offensive arrogance in the bud. A lunch break, you say? I suppose that might be a compromise I could make. It would still be a black eye on my sterling reputation, but at least it would get them back to work. All right, you've convinced me. What else do they want? Free? Free? Nothing inside of Auntie's Choice is free. Law, nothing in life is free. Everything has a cost. Everything. Materials, labor, time, distribution, forced scarcity. Giving something away for free is akin to ignoring the cost of its creation, which is one small step from the system completely breaking down and plunging us all into anarchy. What in the void are you talking about? My greed is certainly doing no such thing. What? No! I would never! That's slander. And or libel. And you can't prove a thing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's not get too hasty here. What do you want from me? Huh. I don't know why you would waste leverage on them, but I suppose you've got your reasons. All right. They'll get their Adrena time, and you'll get all the bits I got on me. Is there more they ask? They want to relieve themselves on company time? I've never heard something so preposterous. Can you imagine how many bits that loss of productivity will cost us? What if they lounge? What if they take time to relax? What if they retreat to indulge their baser urges? Auntie would be paying for all manner of unprofitable shenanigans. You can't imagine because you've never overseen these lazy, slothful, generally undermotivated layabouts. It's my stern hand that keeps them focused. The bathroom stays locked. What more do they want? Very good. Ha! I was going to say very good, but that would be downright farcical. There is nothing good about this situation. Please, just resolve it as quickly as possible.
Bathroom doors!
Hello again. Do you have news for us about the negotiations? That's as fine a place to start as any. What did that tyrant have to say for herself? She willing to see reason? Free? Really? Why, I'd surely have lost that bet. I figured we'd ask for free and settle for wholesale. You're a miracle worker. What's next? Excellent. What progress have you made? I suppose it's better than nothing. What's next? Excellent. What progress have you made? Well, that's tragic. I won't give tell to all the ways we've been sneaking our business under her watch, but let's say no potted plant's been safe. And if that's all we've been offered, I'm sorry to say it's just not enough to get us back to the plant. You've got to get that damnable overseer to give us something meaningful.
Reasonable? Reasonable? What's reasonable about these terms? You're given a few scraps, so now it's time to go back to being slave labor?
Leo's right. We just can't. We are staying here, blocking Auntie's work until at least some of our demands are met. I suggest you go back to the Overseer for better terms.
Why bother? You know it's not going to help. You should consider my offer.
That's not really your concern. Leo has been nice enough to help us find our value here, and the rest doesn't matter. Just please, keep trying to negotiate on our behalf.
Right. I'm just here to make sure they get treated fairly, no matter what.
Well, I'd say we burn the place down, but then these good folk will be out of work and out of a home. We've fouled this up, I fear.